What's up? My name is Julian Williams, and I take Expedite. Some days I walk into the gym, and I don't necessarily feel like working. Take a scoop or two of this, be ready to go. It's the best stuff I've ever had. Expedite.
And the discipline helped me through this whole thing, even up to now. Like I tell people, they say, Bernard, how you holding up in this quarantine? It became a natural greeting of, I'm just, how you gonna argue with a person like that? How you gonna say, what are you talking about? Like I believe people genuinely wanna know how you're holding up, because they might not be holding up, and whatever you say got a lot to do. So I'm conscious of that, got a lot to do with how they're gonna hang up and how they're gonna feel either about you or either about themselves. So words are important. And I understand, like, quarantine to me is not a quarantine. Don't get me wrong. I miss getting on that plane. I miss promoting fights. I miss traveling, seeing reporters, having these conversations, having this press conference, all the little things that I never took for granted. But even if you didn't take for granted, by not actually being cut out of your life program or your life movement, you got to make those adjustments. What better person, and I'm not bragging, what better person for what I just said in the last 4 minutes has a lot to do with this last statement or comment, both. Quarantine. I heard quarantine. How you holding up in this quarantine? I said, listen, don't take this wrong. And this was Black people, white people, Jewish people, Christian people, Muslim people. It was people from all non-religion people, friends, straight or not, whatever. Because I know a lot of people, of course, and I do a lot of movement around, even though this pandemic had to be watched and masked and all that. How are you holding up? I said, to everybody that I know that know me, not the people that know of me, because they look at it, they might have heard, because it's been well publicized, but it's not in a bold or bragging way when it comes from me. I said, 5 years in the penitentiary. 5 years in the most respected and dangerous penitentiary. You can look it up. Information is out there for everybody, especially with this. Forget the social media, just put it in and hit the button. And the PA, everybody know, I ain't talking about just Philadelphia, is a big state. From Philly to Pittsburgh, there's about, and I don't want to go into the reform thing, but let me just tell you my point. There's over 30 plus state penitentiaries, big business. I survived Greater Ford, which is arguably the first respected in the world of that mindset amongst thousands of people from here in between the Pittsburgh and every state under Pennsylvania, PA, toughest in the PA penal code. And I was only 17 certification. I got certified 18, 19, 20, came home at 25. Talking about 83, 84, 85, in the 90s. Come on, man. Come home 88, what are you talking about? Quarantine. And I had to let them know from the beginning. I said, it's gonna get kind of deep. So I don't want you to think that it ain't nothing, but let me tell you something. I'm blessed to be in quarantine in Delaware where I live. A lot of people is not. Quarantine ain't me. I can jog around the premises, never got to leave out. I can swim when I want, steam or dry sauna. I get in the lap pool. I can play pool, arcade games, basketball, four-wheelers. That's not quarantine. So can you understand how somebody can take that as, what are you talking about? I got to get into my details, and that could be portrayed, that could be looked at as bragging. So I'm caught between there, but I got to explain in certain cases to people that I know I got to explain to because I respect them that much, that you got to understand. Oh yeah, I get it, champ, I get it. I didn't even think I was about to say, what the hell? Nobody wants to be in quarantine. Are you depressed? Are you okay? I said, nah, man. I was in quarantine for 5 years. I had to survive one of the toughest, if not arguably the toughest in the PA penal code. And you talk about quarantine when I can actually go in the refrigerator and not be locked in the cell for damn near 18 hours out of a day? You mean to tell me I ain't got to show an ID to a guard to get on the next block or go to the pharmacy or go get it, go here or go there or go there? What are you talking about? You mean to tell me I ain't got to wait for the guard to blow the whistle like dogs and say, yard out, yard out, yard out? What are you talking about, quarantine? And I'm looking around at 17,000 square feet with 7 acres with no neighbors. What are you talking about? Mindset. See, mindset. And when you explain it that way to people, if they let you get far, some, not all, some would take it in, you can't win for losing, in a way of, man, why do you have to tell us what he got or whatever? Well, I got to explain to you because you looked at me like I had 4 heads. Or you said to me, what do you mean, corn? Like, what do you mean? I'm getting into my deep stuff, not my feelings. And that's where I just be like, everything's okay, everything's fine, you holding up, yeah, but really, to be honest with you, I'm telling them what they want to hear. Because I'm gonna be led to explain something that I just got finished explaining to you, and you didn't even ask me, but I had to let you know what part of my request is because of who I am. And there's a lot of other people out there can say it in their own way and understand what I mean or what I said or what people understand, and some that don't or can take it one way or the other. And that's just all thing. But at the end of the day, a lot of people I know that passed, yeah, from the virus. Yep. So it was shocking because you see people and you say, okay, whether it's the doorman that you got used to, whether it's a person that works here or there and they behind the desk and they letting you in and buzzing you in and things like that. And like these are people that, you know, if you've been in a certain environment for many years and they get to know you, they become your fans, they become your supporters, they become your commercial when they go in their world and they travel different places. And when you lose 1 or 2 or 3 of those close people that's not in your immediate family, but in your family of fans or family of support, it's kind of like, man, this thing is serious. And I think sometime late March, I'm thinking to myself, man, this thing gonna, not early on, I thought it's gonna blow over, they're gonna, you know, find something. But late March, I start, so hold up, this thing is serious. You know, I ain't take it as a joke, but I'm like, okay, you know, we're gonna go through this, but then it got real serious. And then obviously we got into another society, got into, not new, but got into another type of battle that I don't think occur will ever be found in my, not my lifetime, will never be, I guess, settled. And I use the word never. That's my feeling. I got my opinion. And that's racism of any level or any caliber or any situation is live and well. So there's 2 issues that has nothing to do with boxing, has something to do with life, but guess what? It affects sports. It affects boxing. So everything that is the base of the universe, when that shuts down and these historic things happen, as they use unprecedented or unheard of, or they can't remember this type of pandemic or crisis of any sort, of any era. Well, So that means that it has attachment to boxing. And you know what that is? Or sports. It's called life. Shutting down the normacy of life. Wearing a mask and not being able to breathe and taking in whatever the mask is made with and having that on your nose and on your face by at least 10 hours a day, added up. Some you can say more. It can't be healthy, but you got a choice to get sick this way or get sick that way. And then there's in the middle. And the middle is dodging. I believe that's what me and you are doing. And I'm definitely speaking for me and the people that I love and people that love me, that I guide through and give advice, because I'm always asking, like feel like sometimes they figure I got the crystal ball. We navigating right now. I use a word called survival earlier. That's how I fought when I boxed, but they said I was boring. And you might think I'm all over the place right now, but I'm tied in because every topic has a meaning. Bernard, oh yeah, I go to sleep. Oh yeah, I like Bernard. He's a great person. He, eventually he picks it up, but he, it's never been exciting. You heard that before, right? You heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I never took offensive to that. And it wasn't because I won most of them, then I lost. But it wasn't even that. Know what it was? It was planning for ahead of time. That if I have to go in battle, a way that people normally praise you for, but you ain't here or healthy enough to talk about it. I'm having a conversation with you because I ducked more than I took. I'm having a conversation with you and others after we finish this. And in the last week leading up to this fight coming up this week, the reason of planning ahead is to be able to do what I'm doing, be productive. And not only that, first, still have some dignity in a way of not decisions, bad or good, but a dignity of who I am and who I represent when I'm there, when I'm in their presence, and being fed with a spoon with oatmeal on it. Or to be talking, trying to express myself, but must have someone else articulate that for me. The reason that and I'm using me, had a lot to do with that. Because even though they didn't understand, why don't just start faster? Why don't just make it exciting? What's exciting? It's the sweet science. My job is to hit you and somehow convince you not to hit me. It don't always work. But guess what? The reason that I am who I became is more than just being the talent and more of the natural abilities that I had. I was preparing when I came home in 1988 with 9 years parole to walk off, as you already know, and 30 plus years, and just got in the Hall of Fame a week and a half ago.
Congratulations for that,
Thank
by the
you.
way.
If I wasn't who I became before I became your champion of the world, I wouldn't have been at that next step. Connections. That's why I was saying, if you ain't paying attention, or I'm too long with the conversation, you will never get the connections. Well, can you hurry up and connect it quicker? We want things fast in this world. Fighters want things fast in this world. They want to drive fast. They want to think fast. And I'm just saying, just take it a notch down. Not 4 notches, not 3 notches. See, because there's already history out there. And as recently as a day or a week or 2 or a year or 3 years or 4 years, where there's always examples about driving fast. We came this close to losing what I think will be definitely Hall of Famer. And with more fights that we haven't seen the talent yet and he's not even promoted by us. And you know who I'm talking about. You gotta be careful and gotta be mindful of their movement. Because if you don't let time and your progress come together and be on the same page, crash.
Yo, you, yes, you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.